What up, Screen Fiends? I'm GB, and you're tuned in to Headz TV, where we like to discuss all the wonderful things appearing on your movie and your TV screens. In this episode, I'm going to give my review of The Leftovers, Season 3, Episode 3, titled Crazy Whitefella Thinking. Now, I'm trying something new with my reviews, so until I iron them out, iron it out and, get a little practice in, these videos may be a tad bit longer than usual, and I'm going to be looking down frequently at my notes, but eventually I'm sure I will figure it out in a way where I can get it done quicker and still read my notes without looking down every 2 seconds. So I do apologize for that. Thank you for bearing with me. With that being said, let's get into it. All right, so the episode synopsis reads, with the clock ticking towards the anniversary of the departure and emboldened by a vision that is either divine prophecy or utter insanity, Kevin Garvey Sr. wanders the Australian outback in an effort to save the world from the apocalypse. Okay, so now this is one of these isolated episodes that Damon Lindelof seems to love so much, like he did with Lost. I don't mind them when the story still moves forward and when the characters are all equally interesting. The Leftovers is that. Lost was that to me. I didn't mind it, those isolated episodes, because the characters were interesting to me. So same thing with The Leftovers. Like when The Walking Dead does it, some of those characters they do it with aren't that interesting, or the plot doesn't move forward. And that's where a lot of people get the problem there. I mean, I have only a tiny bit of problem with that with The Walking Dead. But we're not talking about The Walking Dead. So let's get back to The Leftovers. Sorry. Okay. So the main story arc of this whole episode is we follow Kevin Garvey Sr., played by Scott Glenn. Fantastically played by Scott Glenn in this episode, I might add. This might be the only Scott Glenn performance I can remember that's memorable, that I would say is like award-worthy. There was probably one or two throughout The Leftovers Season 1 that I could say maybe is on that plane. And he does a fine job in everything he's in. I don't mean to diminish the actor, but he was extra good in this is what I'm saying. Okay, so that's the only character we follow, so talking about the storyline will be easy. Where we pick up, this is like a flashback episode, because it picks up where the last episode kind of left off. So the last episode, it was a Nora episode, but it ended with these three Australian women, 3 or 4. Well, these bunch of Australian women killing this guy named Kevin, police chief, who they thought was Jesus. They thought it was Kevin Garvey, that we know. And it ends with Kevin Garvey Sr. coming like out of the shadows saying, hey, what are you ladies doing over there or whatever. And then the episode just ends. So now this one starts off like 3 or 4 weeks before that. And then as it progresses, it catches up to that episode and shows us what happens after that. Okay? All right. I get where they're going with the story. Kevin Garvey Sr., who is always dubbed crazy, thinks that the apocalypse is coming on the anniversary of the departure. So he's trying to stop it from happening. And the way he's doing that is getting pieces of all these different tribal songs that are meant to stop the rain or stop the winds or grow the harvest or whatever. They all have a different purpose, right? Depending on the tribe. And he's trying to piece together these songs, I guess, to make his own tribal song that will stop the apocalypse from happening. So we're kind of torn in the episode wondering whether or not he's crazy like we all thought and think, or if the world is going to come to an end and he is really trying to stop it. So that's his whole storyline and where it goes. So I would say the themes, the main idea of this, I don't know. I guess it's faith, but that's like the theme of the whole show, is science versus faith, or just faith in general. And so I don't want to say that the theme or the main idea of the episode was just faith. That's too broad. But I'll say it's a man going to any lengths possible, even stealing, or breaking the law. And this is someone who used to be a police officer. You know, so it's about someone, even a police officer, going to great lengths, any extent, even breaking the law, to for their faith, because they believe that something is going to happen and they believe that they can stop it. Whether or not that's true, that's something different. So the title meaning, I think that's pretty straightforward. You know, crazy white fella thinking. You know, he's a crazy white fella, you know, and I believe white fella is what the Aboriginal people call, you know, white people, right? So, you know, it fits in that way because he's dealing with the Aboriginal tribes. That's who he's stealing the songs from. And he actually goes, like, his main point of the beginning of the episode is to find this guy who's the last remaining member of a certain tribe who knows this song. The last song he needs to complete his epic tribal song, right, Kevin? So he meets the guy, and then he ends up killing him on accident. So there you have it, you know, crazy white fella thinking, right? So I mean, that's basically the meaning to it. Is he crazy? Is he not crazy? And you know, just the way that this guy thinks. Okay. What else do we have? The production standouts, you know, the same for me. You know, every week. You know, this is a show that's like Better Call Saul, where it's always great writing, it's always great directing. They always get top notch out of all of their talent, all of their actors. The director is always on point. So, you know, there's nothing really bad to say, and there's nothing really different good to say. I wouldn't say there was any super standout writing moments, but all of Kevin Garvey's lines, and I'm not sure if it's I only watched the episode once, so I don't know if I could pinpoint it on the writing or the performance or both. Probably both. But Scott Glenn was just fantastic in this episode. It really is some of the best work I think I've seen him do in his career. And he's had a pretty long career, and I'm not going to be as bold to say I've seen everything he was in, but I've seen a good portion of his work. And I think this is some of the best work he's done. Okay, so that's it for the production standouts. My favorite moment of the entire episode, is the snake scene. It was just so deep to me that he's starving out in the wilderness, injured, and the only way he can survive is to eat this snake that is also his spirit animal. It's his totem animal. This is an animal he's supposed to worship, I guess, right? And, you know, he kills it. Well, he thinks he kills it. Then he goes to grab it to eat it, and then, you know, karma bites him back, right? Like, oh, you thought you killed it? It's your spirit animal. Bop! Bites him. I like that. That was probably my favorite part of the episode. I also liked him sitting down, reading the book, eating the cheese. I don't really know what was up with the book. I know it's something about missing kids, or maybe they were responsible for taking the kids from the Aborigine kids. I don't really know what that was about. I'm going to watch the episode again. I probably should have waited to do the review until I watch it a second time, but whatever, we're already halfway done, right? My least favorite moment of the episode, the thing with the guy lighting himself on fire. Now, I know everything in this show doesn't need to be explained or whatever. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to the leftovers. But, I don't know. I think there's a lot easier ways to kill yourself than setting yourself on fire. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I missed some sort of explanation onto why this was the way he decided to go. But from what I got out of it, to me it seemed stupid and pointless. Why would you kill yourself that way? Why would you not just drive off a cliff or, you know, jump in front of a moving bus? You know what I mean? Set yourself on fire. That's like slow and agonizing. The episode standout, of course, like I said already, was Scott Glenn. He was fantastic. His whole performance in the episode was absolutely great, and he carried the whole episode himself. This is a character we don't we rarely see on the show. So for him to be able to carry an episode and make it enjoyable and interesting and intriguing and make you not miss Carrie Coons and Justin Theroux, you know, and Christopher Eccleston, that says something for the guy, says something for the writing, and even for the surrounding cast of the episode. So, yeah. As far as a rating goes, out of 5, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5. Wasn't much happening. Now, understand, when I rate these shows, I rate them based on the type of show it is. So, like, if I was to compare this to, like, the best episode of The Walking Dead or whatever, of course, it's going to pale, the rating would be lower than a 4 because it's comparing two different types of shows. So when I rate these shows, I'm trying to rate them in the genre or type of show that it is. So this is a mysterious character-based writing show. It's a show that shows their strength of writing and directing and performance. It's not about action or fast pace or answers to your questions. So, you know, if I felt it fell into that category, it wouldn't get a 4. But because it falls into a category of a show that's deliberately slow, it's deliberately paced this way, that's why it still gets a high score for me. All right, that's it for this episode. Chime in down below. Let me know what you thought about The Leftovers, Season 3, Episode 3. Let me know what you think about this video and the new way that I'm doing it. It actually didn't go much longer than I planned, so that's good. The Better Call Saul one did. And, of course, if you liked the video, please show love for the support. Like, share, subscribe. I love that you watch it, and the views are fantastic and always appreciated. But to help the channel grow, we really do need likes, shares, and subscribes to get us out there, to get us recognized by YouTube, and to get more fans sucked in. So, thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Yep, that's it for this one. You guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you next time.